Right, first of all, to make this project, you have to print out the pages you're going to use. Now, you've got this main one here first. It's got the lovely bow on here. You've got various roses here. We've got 3, and you've also got a border down at the end. If you want to add more roses to this, just print this page out as many times as you want. You've also got this page. Now, I'd print this page onto card because you've got the card here. Now, you've got some dotted lines here where you will score across there so it will bend easily. You've also got a vellum effect tag here that you can also cut out and use in your project. You've also got this lovely background paper. Now, you can use this as the outside of a card. Now, we're going to use this piece to make the box that we're going to make, and we're going to use the freestyle embossing technique, so there's actually nothing printed on the back of that. But you've got an option there. You might want to use this nice pink fabric effect to make your box, and you can use the other technique by using the templates and printing onto the back there like this. Cut them out. The best way of doing this is either the embossed way or this way. This way you're going to get the lines still on it. The embossed way you'll never see any lines at all. Then you've also got the 2 templates which you can choose to use. Now, you've got this one which has got the aperture in the middle, the oval aperture, so if you want to arrange your bouquet of roses in the middle there. Then you've also got this version as well, which has got the aperture slightly raised up, so you've got more of a kind of a gift box effect. Now, the first thing to do is print out the pages that you need to cut out, and I've got the bows and the roses and the border here. That's printed onto paper, but you can do it onto thin card if you wish. Then we've also got this one here. Now, I'd print this onto a card, and then you've got the tag and the card here. Now, before you actually cut it out, you've got 2 little lines here. Just put a ruler along here and just mark it with an embossing tool to get that crease so it folds naturally when you've cut it out. And there you can see I've cut the card out now, and it creases there naturally, and it gives you the perfect card there that's going to go into your gift box. Now, I've printed this nice rose pattern onto a nice piece of card here, some white card, and I've also printed the template that I want to use, and this is done onto cheap, nasty photocopying paper because this is only going to last you 2 or 3 times, then you can throw it away. So basically what you want to do is turn your paper over that you've got the design on, and then put this onto the top, get it completely lined up like that, and then using 2 pieces of masking tape, just stop that moving around, just secure them 2 pieces of paper and card together. So there's my template now, and my card sandwiched together there so it's stuck down so it's not going to move. Next, I've got a piece of this thin foam here, which you can get from lots of different places. It's just a thin foam. You want the thin foam, not the thick foam, because otherwise it'll dig in too deep. Now just place that underneath your template. It doesn't matter if it moves around and that, because you've got it securely fastened to the back of the backing paper. Then taking a ruler and an embossing tool, I've just got one here, all you have to do then is to mark and imprint into the card the template that's on the top, and you just take it from one end, try to keep it exactly where it is, and you're just going to lightly follow the template like so. And if you want to go over it a second time, just do that. All you're doing is marking the card underneath through the template so you know exactly where to cut and fold. The way I do it as well is do all one way first, then turn the template round, then go all the same way again, and leave any of the freestyle bits here till last. Now, just to give you one tip when you're doing the freestyle bit here, now you can either take a candle and just lightly rub the tip of your embossing tool over it, so that when you're running the embossing tool around, it gives a nice smooth glide over, and it gives the impression into the card really easily. Now this is really good as well, because when you cut it out, you've got like an embossed effect around the edge. Now if you can, because you've made that first move there, you just follow it slowly around like that, and you can make the embossed effect a little bit more prominent. Another way of actually doing it is to take the candle out, and if you've got a larger piece, just rub it over the back of your card like that. Just puts a little coating of the candle wax on the back there, and then that also allows you to give some nice freestyle embossing there. And you just follow the lines slowly, and as you can see, I've got my arm rested on the table, which helps me give a little bit more accuracy and a little bit more support and stability to get that oval shape quite easily done. And just take your time, just go over it twice if you want to, and this is embossing through the paper into the card, and you've got the mat underneath. Now you only need that thin mat. If you've got it too deep, then there's a tendency for your embossing tool to dig down deep, but because you've got the solid workbench underneath, it stops you going too far and stops you ripping the card. So that's the whole thing embossed. Now you'll have to take my word for it, because it's a little bit difficult to show on camera, but if I can try and get in different angles, it's actually, you can feel the embossed here, and if you hold it on a slight angle, you can actually see all the lines, so you know exactly where to cut. And on the inside there, you can see the lines even better. So all you've got to do now is cut that out following the embossed lines. Now you can see the template is completely cut out there. Now you've got this oval section here. Now if you're very clever and you like using a scalpel and a cutting mat, just lay it on your mat and just go around it simply, and then you've got also an oval there you can use on another card. But if you're not very good at it and you want to butcher this up, then the way I do it is basically to make a hole in it like that in the centre and just cut some random lines that help you to cut out. So when you've done that, you've got some random lines there. Start here, just allows you to get in there. Now again, with the rest of the lines that you've got, just follow the embossed line as close as you can. You want to keep that embossed effect going around it, so it gives your oval a nice embossed line going all the way around. So just slowly turn your card round as you're cutting out the oval, and just cut that out as carefully as you can. And now you can see I've cut the template completely out, and when you turn it over you can see there you've got the pattern running through. It's entirely up to you which way you want the pattern running. I can also feel and see the nice embossed effect around the edge here. Now there's various ways of making this box work, but because you've got all the creases now, it's just a question of folding all the areas over. Fold the card in position first, just get all those creases folded. If you want to use a boning tool, you can do that as well. So just go ahead and fold all the creases. So there's the template now completely creased. Now you've got various ways of folding this together. Now you can either have the box just, fold it in like that, and you can have the box so it's like that, and you open it up like so. Those will all be stuck down, but you've got that aperture there at the top there, and you've got your roses and your card inside. So the card would actually fit into there, and you'd use it like that. We're going to do it that way, but there's another option you can do. You can actually stick down these edges here, and then have the box so it opens at the top here like this. So the card will just slide out. It's entirely up to you how you want to stick that together now. Now when you've assembled your box, you can either leave that aperture open, but I've actually got a bit of a old packaging here, good poly plastic stuff here, and I can cut a piece out here, rectangle piece, and just stick that inside of the box. You can use any acetate or what you want, but I say have a look around at the packaging. Don't waste your packaging, just try and use it up, and I'm going to use this up to make my card. So there you can see I've cut out my piece of acetate from that packaging there, And all I have to do then is take my glue pen, or whichever way you want to stick it down. I'm just going round the oval there, like so, just doing a thin bead of glue all the way around, like that. And then just take my piece of acetate and just securely stick that down. You can have it just to cover where the aperture is, or you could take the whole length of the box. That would probably give it a little bit more security if you want to do that, and also look better when you open the box up. So just let that dry. So there's my box finished now, and I've chosen to have it so it opens that way, like that. But you can have it like that too. The box could be looked at from there, so when you stick your designs on your tag, it could be a horizontal one like that, or it could be a vertical box. You can even have it that way if you want, that way down. It's entirely up to you. Now, you've got the little flap here that will allow you to put the card inside. Don't forget, you can, if you want, stick this flap down but leave an end open so you can slide it up and down that way. So there's my box. The little flaps just go in there and hold it and secure. Hold it secure like that. So there's my flower box ready to put the roses inside. So let's make the card. So as you saw earlier, I've already printed my watercolour effect onto a piece of card, and I've cut that out and creased it. Now what I'm going to do is take the border here, and I'm just going to put a border down the edge here. You've got a longer than you need, but I'll just show you how I do it. Now you can either just put a little bit of glue on the card, but I'm going to put it all the way down the centre of the border. Now just try and judge exactly where you want to take the glue up to. It doesn't matter if it goes over a little bit, because you're going to trim it off and use it on another card if you so wish. So that's going to stick there, and you can stick it right at the end, or you could leave a little gap there. I'm just giving a nice little border on this one just to kind of finish the card off nicely. So that's going to stick down there, and then I'm going to take my scissors and just trim that off there at the edge. Again, you can just slide that away, and there's the start of my card ready to add my roses to. Now, as you can see, I've already stuck down one of the roses here. Make sure when you do stick them down, they're actually going to come within where the aperture is and look quite nice. Now, I've cut these out very simply, and you can either leave a white border all the way around. I've chosen not to, and I've just put two little foam pads on one of the leaves and the back of the flower, so I can just overlap these now gently. And all you want to do is just gently stick them down, so you've still got them raising up to give that lovely bouquet of flower effect. And I'm just getting them over crossing here like that, overlapping, and there's my bouquet of flowers. Now if you want, where the stems are, you can just put a little bit of glue underneath and just tie those down. But there is the front of the card, and all it needs now is to go into the box. So now you can see my box is finished, and inside there I've got my card. Now that could be finished like that if you want to, but I'm going to add this bow. Now this bow, I'm going to make it so it slides up and down. It'll also secure the box together. So to get the bow exactly where you want it, first of all, position it onto the box and say I want it there, so it looks like it's actually the bow around the roses as well, but it's actually around the card. And then just gently crease where you want it to fold, and I'm going to crease it there either side, and then turn it around and stick the flaps here together at the back.